All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich CELENZA. Thanks for checking out my show. So, what I'm going to get into today is actually just giving some quick advice on how to maybe find a place that can give you cheap facials or massages. And I used to do this when I was younger, and I don't think a lot of people really know about this. And I was recently in Boca with my girlfriend last week, and then we went for massages in the morning. And then she surprised me for Christmas and got me a year of massages, one a month with her, and then you get a bonus. You get a free one too. And she surprised me, and that was so wonderful because I love massages more than anything in my life. She's already a member of Massage Envy, and I actually like it there. I know some people have some good things to say. Maybe some people do not to a certain degree, but I love it there. And, to go there isn't necessarily the cheapest place, but I also don't think it's the most expensive. What I like is it's a franchise and a chain, and you can go to different places and get your massages depending on what state or city you're in. I even had a family member that owned a couple of them. So I like it there. But what I'm going to talk about today is a lot of people, when it comes to their health and wellness, wanting to get massages or wanting to have some type of, I shouldn't say therapy, but something where their body gets beat up. And a lot of us work out for, long periods of time. And the only type of thing that they may be able to afford is, say, going in a jacuzzi, right? Or going in a sauna, which both I love both. The sauna is exceptional, just a heads up. But I also think a lot of people want to get some deep tissue massages or massage in general. Also want to take care of their skin, especially their face, and get some facials, but they can't afford them. They are not cheap. Depending on where you live, a massage could be $60 up to hundreds of dollars. Same with a facial. And depending on what type of massage, also depending on what type of facial, that can all vary as well. But I'm here to tell you, one of the places that I used to go to was schools, massage schools, very similar to like dental schools. Now, I've never gone to a dental school. I was just too scared, to be honest with you. I usually always went to a highly recommended dentist, I will say. But when it comes to a massage or even a facial too, I know it could be a little scary because they're messing with your face. But the reality of either one of those, I think, is they're following a guideline. And, getting a massage is getting a massage. They're just going to be using a cream. When it comes to facial, a lot of that is, working on your face, extracting a lot of things, but also putting a lot of creams, using towels, depending on what type, again, facial. But I do think a school especially is going to follow a lot of guidelines that even maybe when you're out in public, going to different places, not even a chain like Massage Envy or just wherever you're going to get sometimes your massage or facial, you have no idea who they are a lot of times or the chemicals that they're using or what they do and what they don't do. You're just kind of going along with them. You're thinking because it's a location in the city or in a suburb that everything's perfectly, fine. Again, we have no idea. But back to the school, if you can research online, because I used to actually go to the yellow pages. This is how far back that goes. Because I heard about this from someone else. They would say, Rich, you got to go to this school. It's amazing. It was off Lee Road. And I think massages were $10, $5 or $10 back then. And I would literally tip the girls because I actually started to make money. And I still went there. I started to tip them twice as much as I think what the fee was. And I didn't want to leave these girls that were all working there that were awesome. And I even started to take all my friends and family members, and I would just treat. Like 4 of us would go, and I'd be like, I actually now at this point, I could probably afford my own massages pretty consistently, but I still loved going there, and I loved bringing people, and it was a blast. Even if people came in out of town, because it was, again, so cheap to go there, and they were really good. And I think they were one of the first people to say, hey, we could do a 90-minute, not just 60-minute. And this goes back to the late 80s, early 90s. And I know these schools still exist, and you can go to them. And if you want a massage, maybe it's $25, maybe, I don't know what it is, but it's usually a lot less, and you can tip them whatever you want. I don't even know. I think sometimes they don't even allow tipping at some of the schools, because I've been to a couple of them, or a few different styles. And you can do this with hair as well. I wouldn't recommend it with women, with their hair, but a lot of guys, if you're trying different styles, you might want to go to a school. Again, it's going to be very cheap. Sometimes it's even free. They'll cut your hair for free. Again, you may be able to tip them not. Maybe you're not going to get the perfect haircut every time, but if you bring a photo and you find a girl there that you want, you're going to save a lot of money. I don't know if they do grooming with beards. That would be quite interesting. I don't know if I would trust somebody with a blade. But back to the facial and massages. here's another thing too. A lot of times, and I've had family members and friends that want to become a masseuse, and they need a certain amount of hours besides the school in the public. So they'll offer free services, and you could just tip them. They're like, hey, can I give you a massage? I just need you to sign something to say I gave you an hour massage. It could be just your neck or your head or full body or foot or whatever the hell it was. And I would go to my cousin's house, they would do them, or they would come to my house and they would just give me a massage. I'd sign them off, and I'd usually really tip them really well. But that's another way to get, again, facials. I think facials, they do that too. I don't know anybody, but I'm sure they do. They have to learn that as well. But massages, for sure, a lot of people need to build up their credit system, I guess you'd call it. But these are ways to definitely, get a massage, because I think massages are incredible for your body. I think that's the one thing that has helped me unbelievably throughout my life, is getting as many massages as I have on my off days when I'm working out. I just feel incredible. I think the blood flow, it's just something I think that really I gravitated towards. But I also understood when I was younger, especially, that I couldn't afford all the time to get a massage, because really, even back in the early 90s and 90s, it wasn't much different. It was like $1 a minute back then. A good massage that I remember for an hour has always been around 50, 60 bucks. And then they opened all these different chains, and they're still around that price range. And then there's higher end places, especially if you go. I've had some incredible massages in many different hotels, many different cities, Atlantic City, Vegas, all of them. When I used to travel, as soon as I used to land, I used to go get a massage after being on the airplane, especially if it was a long flight, and it felt amazing. But again, if you're traveling to certain places, look up on, Google. Say what schools are around here, call them up, and you'd be shocked. A lot of times they'll be like, yeah, we can book you. You come in here, it's $15, $20 for an hour massage. What the hell, you tip them $10. It's amazing, and probably some of the best money I think ever spent. So just want to get a hint on that with this podcast. You got any questions or comments, please feel free to hit me up. All right? I'm at rich@richcelenza.com.